Hey guys, thanks for joining. My name's Fernando Leon. I am your host. And today we're going to be talking about, well, just a topic that has been in place for many, many, many years, right? Cold calling. Cold calling is a two-part series we're going to be discussing because there's so much to discuss. And I don't want to leave anything, I don't want to leave any stone unturned because there's so much that goes into cold calling. And I want to be pretty thorough on not only the approach, but there's so many things that goes into cold calling. I want to be, I want to touch on every point. Oh, we got somebody showing up here. A little late, John Lisham. All right, or John Lishman. You let John in. Hey, John.
Oh, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, no, we can hear you. We're doing a live webinar, so we're going to be talking about cold calling. And I was just going over, man, it's a huge challenge. So, but I don't want to mute you. So fire off any questions you may have, even during the webinar. It's fine. We're going to be going at we're going to be moving at a fast pace, but I can slow down. You can ask questions because there's a lot to discuss. But I'm going to give a quick table of contents and just discuss a lot of bullet points when it comes to cold calling. There's so much that goes into it, and I don't want to, like I was saying in the introduction, I don't want to leave any stone unturned. And this is a two-part series because there's a lot. There's a lot that goes into it. But I just wanted to let you guys know that um, this is on demand. You can we're going to have it available to all the members, and we'll put it on YouTube so you guys can watch it as at your leisure. But we have future shows coming up. And these future shows are going to include lead generation companies that are making guarantees, white label platforms that allow you guys to scale your business because you guys are given a huge responsibility. And at times, you guys might be a one-man show, a two-man show, maybe even a handful of you guys running an MSP. But to deliver a 24/7 SOC or a 24/7 help desk can be a challenge. So we're going to have partners that are part of the MSP Corner platform that can be and add value to your organization. So those are going to be upcoming shows. And this is the reason that we created the MSP Corner is to help you guys increase that monthly recurring revenue. If you want to get more sales, we're going to have strategies in place, frameworks in place, so you guys can implement specific strategies like cold calling, SEO, PPC, email campaigns, things like that. We're going to discuss lots of strategies and frameworks that will get you guys in front of your ideal client. So you guys get more business. So if you don't want any business, new business, you got plenty of business, then maybe we're not the right fit for you. But we're all about uh, building a platform to help MSPs build a sustainable independence model, so you guys don't have to rely on word of mouth or references or other people that are providing you with leads. So, but let's kick this off, and I got some notes here of what we're going to be discussing. And first is, this is something that I see a lot. And my firm, my MSSP, works with many IT firms. And a lot of these guys, they don't have a CRM in place. If you don't know what a CRM is, let me give you guys a quick sneak preview of what that is, because a CRM is going to be critical to your success. You need one. I know that a lot of you guys don't have one, but let me share my screen and give you guys a preview of what the benefits are behind a CRM. And this is a dashboard. This is just a quick demo on what Zoho provides. And you're going to ask, well, what does Zoho cost? It's free. It is a free platform that allows you to upload your database to keep track of open tasks, meetings, deals closing this month. It's important. I know you guys may feel like, oh, my Excel spreadsheet's plenty. These platforms will integrate with your email campaign, so you guys can keep track of who's opening what their score is, et cetera, et cetera. There's lots of benefits to a CRM, but I'm working it out where I have one of the representatives that can do a deep dive into the CRM, because it's a very valuable tool, and I can't stress enough how valuable a CRM is, because it will set reminders. You guys are extremely busy as it is. I look at my one of our VP of operations email inbox, and he's got hundreds of messages. He's got hundreds of alerts. He's just because he's managing multiple resources. And if you don't have a CRM that sets a tickler or has a tickler in place that says, hey, call XYZ Corporation because you submitted a proposal last week, let's get some feedback. So you guys need to get a CRM in place so you keep track of conversations, you keep track of what you've sent them, discussions you've had. Everything can be attached to that CRM as far as like, hey, I sent them a proposal. We've had detailed discussions about what the deliverables are, et cetera, et cetera. So a CRM is the first solution that you need to consider before you start making those cold calls. And without a doubt, there is no doubt that you need that. The next solution that you're going to need is a list. I don't know how you guys plan on making cold calls without having any information, but if you don't have a list to call into, there are services out there that will provide you with a solution that's inexpensive. I remember when we first started out, lists were sold for thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay, there was a lot of and that could be a bit it can be a bit of a challenge when you're starting out or if you're a small business. But this is what I found. I found Data Axle, and they have no association with MSP Corner. I spoke with this group, and they provided me with a demo, and I was pleasantly surprised on what they could do. And I'm trying to get in there because I can do a demo for you on how easy it is to build a list. But I can't seem to get in there, and that's okay. I can have them do a demo in the future, but look into Data Axle Sales Genie, 250 a month, and you get 1,000 names every month. You can run a list for and get 1,000, a list of 1,000 organizations in your area. You can target a specific industry. You can target a specific size. You can you can request a specific executive. And that's one of the luxuries we don't have. It really sucks. To me, it's frustrating because we're not selling a CRM tool. We're not selling a list of names. So when you're selling a CRM tool, you know that the decision maker is the VP of sales or the VP of marketing. So we don't have that luxury. So you're going to have this approach of, okay, do I talk to the CEO, then the CFO, and then the chief operating officer? So you have to go down a line, and that can be frustrating. So this platform will help you get various names to within an organization. So look into Data Axle Sales Genie. It's and there you see the domain is dataaxlegenie.com. Look into it. They'll give you a free trial. And I was shocked that it's only $250 a month. I don't quote me, I believe they want you tied in for at least a year. But $250 is not bad, to be honest. Instead of paying $5,000-$6,000 up front for a list that could be crappy, yeah, um, I would prefer to go with a subscription-based model. But this is your business. You guys run it however you like. I'm just giving you some input on what is out there because it's a great solution. I would I'm going to take advantage of it because we're building our own campaigns, and you can never have enough data to target specific businesses because we're targeting specific clients. Now, let's talk about ICP, the ideal client profile, and why it's important to your organization. So, why do you need one? Because if you are an expert in IT, you have a specific skill set. You deliver a specialized skill set to a specific industry. If you're not doing that, if you're servicing manufacturing, medical, legal, accounting, multiple industries, pick a couple. Pick a couple so you can focus on who makes you the most money, who has the largest margins, what SaaS products you know the best, who is the most low maintenance, because it's important. It's important to have a ICP. Now, what I just did was build a profile, right? Do you want to target a specific organization? Do you want to go after a specific industry? Because you're going to increase your chances of closing the opportunity when you're working with a specific industry. It's just a matter of fact, because let me tell you why. You're going to be competing with other MSPs. And if they are less, let's say they're a little bit less, they're less expensive than you, but out of the three MSPs, you are like the champion, the expert in that industry. You're going to have the edge when it comes to the client selecting you guys. Now, when you're building an ICP, ideal client profile, you want to consider a size. Because I'll tell you this, if you're going to make cold calls, you want to stick to organizations that have 10 to 40 employees, maybe 50, because it's a challenge. Remember, I made over 26,000 calls. I've made over 26,000 cold calls, and it was not even it was not easy. And I was calling into all sizes, and this is what I discovered. It's a lot easier to get in front of the CEO when you have 40 or less employees. And I don't think any of you guys, maybe you guys are okay with a 5-person office. I don't want to tell you what you should go after, but yeah, if it's a 5-person office, it's going to even be easier to get in front of that CEO. But most of the time, I'm sure you guys have discovered this, is the CEO is the IT guy. So, but if they're growing, if his employees are, he can't solve certain problems, he's going to need to fall. He's going to need to rely on somebody. Now, decision making message. I got my camera in front of me and I can't see the screen here. But okay, let's go with what that messaging is going to be, because every C-level executive has a different goal. They have different initiatives. So don't think that the message for a CEO is going to work on a VP of operations or a CFO. So you have to consider the decision maker messaging. It's so important, because if you want to increase your chances of landing a meeting, you need to think about what that message is going to be to that person. Now, the city, you guys want to target a specific area, you're going to want to select your city and I guess a number of within a 50-mile radius. I don't know, whatever you guys decide on. But this building an ideal client profile will help you determine, will help. You gotta select an area that you want to target. So, all right. So why is this gonna? Why do you need to do this? Because you're going to be seen as the industry leader. When you select an ideal client profile, they're gonna view you as the leader, and you don't want to waste your time on opportunities that are you don't have a chance of closing the opportunity. Don't go biting more than you can chew. Stay within your lane. Build build a pipeline that is easy closable for you. You're going to increase your close rate if you stay within your that profile. You can get a lot of wins with 20 people with a 20-person office. And it will be a lot easier if you know how to support that industry. It's just we've been doing it for over 10 years. So I understand it. I understand why it's important to have an ideal client profile. I fought it in the beginning. I fought it. I was very against it. I didn't want to do it. It's just out of my comfort zone. I was so comfortable talking to everybody that I was against going this path. And I'm a very stubborn person, so it took a while for me to embrace it. But um, I would highly recommend you guys create an ICP that is profitable, that is low maintenance, and those margins are going to make you guys some money. So, all right, let's go to the next. Let's go to the next slide, and I'm going to build an ICP really quickly because I chose the medical industry because we do a lot of work in that area, and you got to anticipate the needs before you even make a cold call. Because if you're going to be talking to, let's say, the medical industry, you're going to have to anticipate what their challenges are, right? You're going to have to anticipate what they might have a problem in. So, a lot like the medical industry, yeah, they have challenges with security, they have challenges with HIPAA compliance. Their MSP is not providing them with after hours support. Their backups might be a challenge to recover, right? Consultation. Again, this is where you will stand out. The consultation industry is becoming a $1 trillion industry. And because people need advice, they need expertise. So if you're going to target the medical industry, know those SaaS products inside and out. What is their biggest challenges? What is their biggest needs? So when you get that all dialed in, and again, I was very against this. And when we decided to sit down and discuss, okay, these are the biggest challenges. These are going to be their needs, and this is the messaging we're going to come up with. It's a very methodical approach. You guys can do it. You guys are leaders of your organizations. This is part of leadership. You need to create an ICP, or else it's going to be, you're just like throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks. Don't do that. Now, building rapport, and this is part of cold calling. And some experts say, oh, you don't need to build rapport. You can just create it. You can easily um, um, schedule a meeting if you get in front of the right person. And they're right. There's some truth to that, because this is all about remember that this is a business of trust. You guys are handed the keys to the kingdom, literally. You guys control everything. It's not like, oh, we're going to give you a certain portion. Well, there are co-managed opportunities, but when you're looking into a small business, you're in charge of everything. I mean, making sure the network is running, the security, backups. I mean, it's a lot of responsibility. So, do I recommend building rapport? Absolutely. And how can you do that? A newsletter. A newsletter through email is a great start. Educate your audience. Provide them with valuable data. Don't be soliciting them. Don't spam them. Give them data they want, because that's how you get in front. That you start to plant seeds, right? It may not be. They may not want to implement a compliance reporting tool today, but they may want to in a month or next quarter or at the end of the year. So plant seeds, provide valuable content. Now, LinkedIn Connections is a great form of building that network. But one thing that a lot of people leave out is, well, yeah, increase that list of people you're connected with on LinkedIn. I'm going to suggest that you only connect with people in that ICP, right? Because when they connect with you, you're going to want them to follow your business page on LinkedIn, because that business page is going to post valuable data for that industry. And if you're going to be going for in 2024, your goal is to go after all the medical offices in your city that have 20 or less people. That's a great goal to have. Connect with the leaders of those medical offices, have them follow your business page, post valuable data, build credibility. That's how you do it. Is building credibility will build trust. And that's what I mean by building rapport. Is there's no other way, guys. I'm sorry to, unless you're going on TV and you're having infomercials every other week, you need to build trust, and LinkedIn is a great platform for you to do that. Facebook is another platform, but I'm a big believer of where is your audience? If you're going to target medical offices, where do those CEOs reside? Where do they go to for information on their industry? So think about that. Now, I just talked about following your firm because it's so important on building rapport, and it's valuable data for your ICP. I can't stress that enough because it's important. People need to know that not only are you credible, you're trustworthy, you're reliable, you're consistently posting data. It's not like every 6 months. They're like, people want data, but they want valuable data that is relevant to them. So I can't stress that enough. You have to get that important, relevant data to your ICP. Now, partner with a SaaS provider that is viewed by your, I'm going to use the medical industry as an example, as a case study. Partner with them on putting on a lunch and learn, something that will pique their interest so they come and learn about a product that will benefit their organization. So SaaS providers can be a great partner in delivering that type of creating that type of environment. So invite to a webinar, right? You can have a webinar. You're probably thinking, well, Fernando, I don't develop any products. I don't have my own intellectual property, but you are a consultant. You are an expert in your field. You have a skill set. If you are targeting the medical industry, you're going to want to announce that, hey guys, we're going to have a webinar with Lionfish Cybersecurity. They provide a HIPAA compliance reporting tool to ensure you guys are compliant and secure. Please join us. This is valuable data for your industry. If you want to avoid any fines by the government, join us on X amount of X date. So you could give webinar. This is going to add value to your organization in one of two ways. First, you're going to get them the information they want, and you're going to tell Google that you are the expert in this area because you keep your medical clients HIPAA compliant. And that adds to your authority level, your credibility, and your trustworthiness with Google. And that is the most important audience member you're going to have, because when you upload that data, that video about what you can do for the medical industry, it's telling Google, hey, these guys are trustworthy. They're the experts in this area. And then you start seeing your organic listing climb that organic ladder. And that's just one way. Okay, if you're going to be making cold calls, you're gonna need the three C's. Competence, or obviously, right? You need to be competent in a certain skill set. You're gonna need to be competent with expertise. So, and what does that do? That builds confidence. Because let me tell you, if you go into a meeting and you don't sound confident, you sound hesitant, they're not going to trust you. So you got to be very confident when you go into a meeting with a CEO. And let me full disclosure to all of you guys out there. If you do enough research of me, I've been in this industry for over 2 decades. I don't have an education. I didn't go to school. I didn't go to a university. I didn't attend a formal college. I actually flunked out of junior college because I just didn't have the discipline, or I was just too girl crazy. I think I was just constantly at parties, and I'm a very social person, so it was a constant chase after females. It was just I don't know if it was a sport for me or if it was a challenge. I don't know. But when I first started single point of contact, I went to a lot of very important meetings. And this is a kid who didn't have any formal training, didn't have a formal education. And let me tell you, I had to go in there and I had to sound competent and I had to be extremely confident if I wanted to land that opportunity. So don't hesitate. If you need to work on your confidence, there's a lot of books out there. I can get them for you. I'm happy to list them. Just email me. I'm happy to get you guys titles that will help you with your confidence. But you're already the CEO of an IT firm. You have the confidence, you have the competence, and you have the confidence. You just have to tap into it. Get out of your comfort zone. I know you're probably uncomfortable being on camera or going to a meeting or talking about what you can do to help an organization reduce their IT costs or secure their network. It's okay. It's everybody has some type of challenge. So um, if you're going to be making cold calls, you need to sound competent, you need to sound confident, and the most important C out of all these three, I think, because you need to make a commitment. If you don't make a commitment to making cold calls, you're not going to build a pipeline. I hate to tell you guys, this is just uh it's a marathon. I like to use this analogy because it is what it is. It is a marathon and it's not a sprint. You're not going to get to the finish line by overnight. And I love an Usain Bolt quote that I saw on a TikTok. It was, he worked 4 years to run the 100 dash under 9 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever it was. 4 years. And he says people give up after a few months, right? Because they're not getting instant gratification, they're not getting instant satisfaction. So I'm going to tell you guys that this is a process. And for 11 years, I made cold calls. I never gave up. Was I frustrated? Hell yeah. Oh gosh, I was extremely frustrated. It was a very challenging time for me personally, but I stuck with it and it paid off. I mean, we generated a lot of business because of cold calling. It was easier back then. This is 20 years ago. So think about, there might be more challenges today, but hey, we all have challenges. You got to get over it. You got to embrace it. You got to make that commitment. Commitment's going to be your biggest challenge. So don't give up just because you don't have success after a month. No, this is going to take this is going to take months. So get ready. And here's the ugly part of cold calling. There's going to be so much rejection, but I viewed rejection as fuel. It was the fuel to my fire. It wasn't water to my fire. It was fuel. I was very determined individual to getting a yes. But I wasn't a an annoying cold caller, right? If somebody said no, it wasn't like, oh, I gotta turn this into a yes. It wasn't that type of challenge. I was very respectful. I'm like, okay, can I stay in touch with you? It may be a no today, but can it be a yes or maybe in 6 months or a year? Right? So we keep careful notes in our CRM and they'll tell me why they're saying no. Oh, I have an IT firm in place in my CRM. So when I call them in a year, I'll say, "Hey, Tom, are you still happy with XYZ IT MSP?" "Oh, no, Fernando, we're not. Thank you for calling us back. We're looking to make a change. Can I get you an RFP or can we meet, et cetera, et cetera." Those type of calls were music to my ears. So don't look at rejection as or a no as indefinite no. It's really a maybe. But there are people that will give you a no because it will never change. The CEO could have his cousin in there and it's his MSP. So who knows? But collect as much data as you can. get ready to make 30 to 50 calls a day. And this can be easily done if you have a soft phone on your computer, and it can easily dial for you. My daughter makes cold calls for her university. She's in charge of raising funds for the philanthropy department, and I think she tells me she makes 200 calls a day. They have a robocaller, so they have very sophisticated technology. So I don't know, you guys, I'm sure you can make more calls than that a day, but if you stick to it, make a commitment, make 30 to 50 calls at least a day. Now, I go back and forth with my CEO on this. The power of persuasion or the power of fear. And we'll dive deeper into this later on in our series and in other discussions. But what is effective today? I see it all. I see power of persuasion and I see the power of fear. What works with me personally, I'm a power of persuasion. I don't use fear. I feel fear is is uh is a bit too manipulative, even though persuasion is manipulative, but I don't like using the power of fear. Maybe it has something to do with my religious background. I don't know. But what is effective today? I think both can work. I honestly feel that way. I tend to lean more towards the power of persuasion. So whatever works for you guys make that choice. What time should you call? This is going to be really important. 10 to 11:30 in the morning. And then after 1:30 is the best time to call. So use that as part of your strategy when making phone calls. They say Mondays are not ideal. And Fridays, people are just waiting. They can't wait to get out of the office. But when you're calling into a C-level executive, they're early risers and they're not clock watchers, right? They're not quiet quitters, so to speak. So they're working late. So you guys make that decision on when you're going to be making calls. But this is what the research based on what I've seen online, this is what has been suggested. All right. So on part two, I'm going to give you guys the script that works for me or did work for me, back in 2001. And I made cold calls from 2001 all the way to 2012. I will give that to you guys in part two. I don't want to have you guys come here and leave empty-handed. I will provide that, but there's going to be more topics, more content we're going to be discussing. So we'll have something again next week. But that is it for my for this slideshow. And John, I don't know if you have any questions, but that's the end of the show, buddy.
Yeah, no, that was good. The one thing, like, we're actually doing co-managed, so we have like a plan for going after the co-managed, and it was just good to hear about the 10 to 50 for the full MSP type solution.
Yeah,
So I got a bunch of people I'm just ramping up right now, and we're going to use the email marketing automation with the CRM all tied in together with the scoring of the online activity to determine who's going to be a warmer lead than other leads. So we're
there
sort
you
of going
go.
down that path already.
So John, tell me, if you're going after co-manage, and let me just give you a one piece of this is what I hear from other leaders that I talk to. LinkedIn, man, Sales Navigator. You're gonna hit some gold mines if you go down that path because when you're going after co-managed, yeah, those are some big opportunities. Yeah, you're going to be very successful if you get this right formula set up on Sales Navigator and you get that right message in front of them. So that's awesome, man. That's great to hear. Where are you
Yeah,
guys
well,
located?
where am I local? Well, I live in a small town in British Columbia, but my clients are in Western Canada.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The whole company's remote.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, the co-managed is a very nice model. I love it. We've done co-managed for a lot of companies, and it's a great model. And that's great to hear that you guys are doing the same thing because it's man, I was talking to a couple of other organizations, and there's the demand for IT services is growing every year. It's not going to ever slow down. They're like, oh my God, is AI going to take over from us? Is it going to is India going to take over? They're getting better. No, it's never going to go away. It's getting worse, man. The demand is insane for. We're big believers of online marketing. We get a lot of foot traffic to our website, so we get about 30, 40 meetings a month. You know, CEOs saying, hey, we want to meet with you. We see on your website that you're a right fit for us, but we want to talk to you first and see if we're a fit for you. So et cetera, et cetera. But we want to explore the sales navigator angle also. So you got to build funnels. You got to build funnels in order to keep feeding that pipe if you got some hungry sales guys internally. So, man, happy for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, we're gonna actually just we're looking actually for companies between 50 to 200 employees who are hiring IT staff on Indeed, and we know it's going to be a 1 to 2 year sales cycle because
Yeah.
we can see
Yeah.
certain companies hiring continuously for the same position every 4 months for whatever reason.
Wow. Wow. It's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. That's great to hear. And I love to hear feedback from you because it just cements what we hear from other organizations. It's the demand is just insane.
Yeah,
So the market is a little rocky, but man, I don't know what it's like defying every economic theory out there. It's like it seems unstable, but people are still hiring, they're still growing, the demand is there. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
depends on the industry.
Yeah. Great
Yeah,
industry to be in. Yeah.
yeah. No, that was good. It was, it just sort of your presentation just sort of validated some thoughts that were in the recesses of my mind. But it's nice to bring them to the forefront.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was great.
Good, good, good. And if we get some of your salespeople on a call next week, if you guys can join us, that'd be great. I'm going to share my cold calling script and I'm going to share it with everybody. So if you can join us, awesome. But we're going to provide the webinar on demand so you guys can just grab it whenever you want.
Okay. How do I just go to mspcorner.com to sign up for next week?
I'm gonna send a invite. Did you see me on MSP Corner, the MSP Corner group in Facebook?
Yeah, that's right. That's where I saw you.
Okay, I'll post the registration link there.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks
Well,
again.
yeah, thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.